Welcome to our new lesson based on Kashmiri language grammar course with Sayyid Hamid Bukhari. So subscribe my videos. You can note my address bukharihamid786@gmail.com. So dear students, today our lesson is about past tense. We call past tense in Kashmiri we call patkal. So we'll have the first type of it, what we call past indefinite. For example, past indefinite we call besek as call. Besek patkal. Besek patkal or past indefinite. So dear students, first we'll see the formula. This is a very simple lesson and very simple technique we have. That's a correct one in traditional grammar as well. So we'll show here the formula first. This is kravel. Then we have kravut. And then we have kromut. But here we use second form. Or we call doyim. You can put marks here. You can put marks. You can yourself. I write the formula in English. That is subject plus second form plus object. See, some of the sentences you have object first and then crowd. You have crowd first, then this. So, dear students, we'll show some of the verbs, some of the subjects. They will change the form. Like ts. When we use ts, first you remember ts is the subject for you, or tse, that's also you. Mostly we use with feminine. And see, dear students, when we use these subjects, the shape of the verb changes. And if we take the example of verb, one of the verbs, I will say only for these, I will say the verb more, kill. This is second form of mar. This is called more. And when we use this, we add it th, and we put pesh, or we call dhamma, to this letter which is before this. So first we put the letter here, then we put th. So it becomes more. Or sometimes we add kh. In some of the verbs. That becomes khotuk. So when we use these type of these helping verbs, these type of these subjects like you, we change the shape. Halat jo hoti hai verb ki such badlan, that changes here. So this was the formula, and I will now make some of the sentences according to this formula. So we'll use first this first person subject, like me means I. Me, like if I have to say I wrote, I'll write here me lich kitab. Otherwise the formula will be me lyuk. Now that is also this will also change when we say use the me as subject. Sometimes sir will be added to verb, like book khotus. When I use b as subject, book khotus, b sas met sover. So sometimes sir will be added, and we'll see the words me lish kitab, that means or me lish ah kitab, that means I wrote a book, I wrote a book. So simply when we say he, now we'll use the word here, subject he. So we'll use here sukhot, or you can put here sukhot, like he climbed. So you romanize it yourself. Sukhot, su is he, and khot is verb. Sukhot, second form, he climbed. Or we can say tem more, that means he killed. Now how can you make negative sentences? We have to add this growl, then we have to use this crowd verb, this is verb, and then we have to use na, that is na means not, and then we have to use kromut, like tem, we'll make the negative of it, tem more n kur, he did not kill cock, or a cock. Tem more na kokur. Now, when we have to make questions, like we have to make questions called sawal in Kashmiri, we have to add, this is verb. Most often we add alif. I write here, like I say tem mora, tem kyoa, that means did he eat? So we do not make questions like kya tem kyoa. That's also correct, but that I would say that that's not the formal use here. People often, I would say, they use tem kyoa like questions, but some of the persons who are very deep in grammar and other things, they can sometimes use kya tem mora, kya sugayawa to, like this. This is the way to make. So I will show one example more, like Timo wrote. Timo wrote. Yeah, Timo wrote. We'll say they caught. Timo wrote. Now we can say, now the example of se, how it will be used. I will just rub it here. So I will show se. In today our lesson is past indefinite, Besak Pathkal. So in Besak Pathkal we use second form of verb. We have three forms in Kashmiri as well. So we use second form of verb with subject, and then we use object, kromut. So I will use now se you. Now we wrote here khot, we will use khotuk. You climbed. Or we can say s, or we'll use here se rotut. You caught. Or se porut. You can mark here position. You read. You won't expect me to put always these punctuation marks over the letters, so you can understand yourself. You can romanize also. Charotut, or b goes. B khotus, like we say here, bu, if we use in that way, bu khotus, I climbed. So dear students, you can make more exercises, more examples. Today our lecture was about past indefinite. So in past indefinite we use subject and then the second form of verb. This is the work which we do in the past. That's the work by past indefinite. We have one more lesson, or some of the lessons, where we would deal with the correct form of these tenses, or correct use of tenses. We'll see the usage there when we use the correct forms, correct use of tenses. So be with us. See you in our next lecture. Till then, goodbye.